Psalm 32 marks a dramatic shift from Psalm 31. David moves from deliverance in danger to deliverance from sin. This psalm teaches about forgiveness and confession. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Psalm 32, verse 1. The word blessed appears first. It means happy or favored by God. True happiness comes from forgiveness, not circumstances. David uses different words for sin in these verses. Transgression means rebellion or willful disobedience. It pictures crossing a boundary God established. The phrase is forgiven translates a word meaning lifted away or carried off. God removes the transgression. The second phrase adds depth. Whose sin is covered uses a different word for sin. Covered means concealed or hidden from view. God covers the sin so that it no longer stands exposed and is forgiven. Paul quotes this verse in Romans 4, 7-8. He writes about justification by faith, saying, "Blessed are they whose iniquities are forgiven and whose sins are covered." Paul connects David's words to the doctrine of imputed righteousness. God credits righteousness to believers apart from works. The forgiveness David celebrates becomes the foundation of gospel truth. Blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. Psalm 32, verse 2. The word imputeth means reckons or counts. God does not count iniquity against the forgiven person. The word iniquity describes moral perversity or guilt. This word for sin completes David's comprehensive picture. Transgression, sin, and iniquity all receive God's forgiveness. The phrase, "in whose spirit there is no guile," describes the forgiven person's condition. Guile means deceit or deception. The forgiven person walks in honesty before God. No pretense remains, no hiding continues. The spirit becomes transparent. David likely wrote this psalm after his sin with Bathsheba. 2 Samuel 11 records his adultery and murder of her husband. Nathan the prophet confronts him in chapter 12. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan said unto David, The Lord also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die. 2 Samuel 12:13. David experienced the forgiveness he celebrates in this psalm. His transgression was lifted away. His sin was covered. God did not impute his iniquity. The account of the prodigal son also illustrates this forgiveness. The son demanded his inheritance and wasted it. He returned home, broken and repentant. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him, and had compassion, and ran, and fell on his neck, and kissed him. Luke 15:20. The father forgave him, and covered the son with a robe. He restored him to full sonship. The son experienced the blessedness David describes in this psalm. Peter's restoration, after denying Christ, shows the same truth. John 21 records Jesus meeting Peter after the resurrection. 3 times Jesus asked, Lovest thou me? 3 times Peter affirmed his love. Jesus restored him to service with the words, Feed my sheep. John 21:17. Christ covered Peter's sin of denial. He did not impute Peter's failure to him. Peter experienced forgiveness and moved forward in ministry. Blessedness does not depend on human merit. It flows from God's grace alone.